We're ready. Okay, everybody, welcome to the Monday night team up call. I'm so excited to have so many of you joining us, and the numbers are climbing rapidly, and I know that you're all excited. Number one, this is our last team up call for the month of September, and I know that there's so many of you out there that are working really intently on wrapping up the month strong. You're wrapping up your HLPs, your 2,000 plus, the summer surge. You're getting qualified because we're heading into conference in roughly, I'm talking a little more than 2 weeks. And so tonight's call is perfect because tonight we have Paulo Teixeira, our CEO, with us. And I couldn't think of a better way to have your vision fueled and your goal fed than to have our CEO with us. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about Paulo because I want you to hear his story from him. But Paulo Teixeira came to the Juice Plus company back in 2008, but he was born, raised, and educated in Brazil. He has an amazing story of connection with Jay Martin. All right, he is the husband to his beautiful wife, Priscilla. He's a proud dad of his son, Lucas. And I got to tell you, he's an athlete. Paulo plays tennis. I know he plays tennis because I hear about it from Michael Hack. Okay, he plays tennis, he fishes, he loves photography, and aeroponic gardening. How cool is that? Paulo, thank you for being with us tonight. I am so humbled. I'm so grateful. Welcome to the call, and I want to know, how is it that you came to connect with Juice Plus? The how, the why, and the when.
Very good. Well, thanks for having me in the call. It's a great pleasure to be with all of you. I can see the numbers just climbing like crazy, so that's awesome. And once again, Terry, thanks for inviting me. Well, as you said, I joined the company back in August of 2008, so it's been 9 years now, and it's incredible because it feels like it was yesterday. I was running a food packaging company here in Memphis, and I was really a transition manager between two generations of the business, the second and the third generation of the Bryce family. The second generation was getting a little long in the tooth, and the third generation was not ready yet. So they asked me to step in and run the business for them as a bridge. And I was a couple of years before that, I had met Jay when we were running a capital campaign for the Boys and Girls Clubs. And he got so interested and contributed so much in terms of ideas and also in terms of dollars that I was part of a group that recruited Jay, if you can imagine that. We recruited Jay to the board of the Boys and Girls Club. So we had served on the same board for probably 2 to 2.5 years when he invited me out to lunch to talk about succession planning. And he went on and on talking about that. And now it is, I'm having coffee at the end of lunch. This is before I shred 10 times. And that's when I turned to him and I said, Jay, I would like to learn a little bit more about, your company and what you're looking for, so I can put you in touch with some people that I might know that might, fit the bill here. And he looks at me like I'm the dumbest person on earth. And he's just like, Paulo, I don't want to use your Rolodex. He used the term Rolodex. I don't want to use your Rolodex. I'm talking about you and I working together. So I totally missed the point during the entire lunch. And we had to have a second lunch in which he kind of explained a little bit more about what he had in mind and about the company and so forth. But the crazy thing here is I was literally in the last 1.5 years or so, maybe 2 years, of that transition that I talked about earlier. So I was already looking into my next chapter, and my next chapter was going to be to teach school. I considered myself then, and still do, a little bit too young to do nothing. I couldn't live that way. And so I wanted to teach school. I was going to teach high school. And I was looking into getting accredited for that and so forth. But Jay had no clue whatsoever that was the case. So it's amazing how things happen. And then he convinced me that what I wanted to do was extremely meaningful, but joining the Juice Plus company was just as meaningful, if not more, because of the focus on health and the focus on nutrition and the focus on improving people's lives, changing people's lives. And he totally talked me into it. Obviously, he did. I'm here. And I am super excited to be here. Like I said, it doesn't feel like it's been 9 years already. It was like it was yesterday. So that's how it happened. It was a series of strange events that made everything come together, and I couldn't be happy.
Well, we're so happy that it all came together. Okay, so in 9 years, Paulo, you've seen a lot of growth, a lot of change, and a lot of expansion. So tell me, because I've got a lot of new reps on the line tonight, okay? What do you think has created our success, and what do you see going forward for us?
Yeah, I mean, with the company being almost 50 years old now, we're going to be 50 years old in 2020. There have been, a number of things that have been amazing to create the company that we have today. But I would like to maybe focus on a couple of things that came together, actually 3 things that came together in the last 5 or 6 years that have created this incredible momentum that we have now and that we're all experiencing, and hopefully the entire team here on the call is experiencing as well. The first thing was a big change on the point of sale. We used to introduce fruits and vegetables, orchard and garden at the point of sale as our first conversation with anybody, and talk to them about the rest of the Juice Plus Company products at a later date. And that has changed dramatically. We are now, approaching the point of sale with the entire array of products that we have, which is still narrow, and it's going to continue to be narrow. We're not going to ever be a catalog type company. Everybody can rest assured of that, as long as I'm around and Jay's around. But we are approaching people where they are in their health journey with the entire array of products. And that has allowed the field to drive different kinds of bundling that have been extremely successful for us. So that's one big factor in the growth that we have experienced in the last 5 or 6 years. And by the way, in the 24 countries that we are in now, we have experienced records in just about all of them, comparing year over year. So it's really been a great run for us. So number one is we're talking about more things at the point of sale. Meeting people where they are in their health journey and bundling products based on what their needs are. So that's one factor. The other factor is we're talking to more people. Social media has essentially revolutionized not only our business, but any business. And the fact that we're now talking to not only friends, a list of the 30 people or so that we felt comfortable talking to Juice Plus about, now we're talking to 300 people. We're talking about, as my son would say, Dad, that's pretty lame. You need to be talking to thousands of people on social media. The point being is we're now talking to friends of friends and friends of friends of friends and acquaintances that we have, not acquaintances, but folks that we haven't seen in a long time. In other words, our reach has gone way beyond our comfort zone of the warm market. Not that the warm market is not important, and not that a business can't be built only on warm market. But the fact that social media is here to help is really augmenting the speed at which we are acquiring customers and we are acquiring teams. So that to me is point number 2. Point number 1 was we're talking about more things at the point of sale. And point number 2 is simply that we're talking to more people via social media. The third point is something that we didn't particularly do ourselves, but that is the influx of millennials in the workforce. Both as customers and as team members in the business. The millennials are now the largest living generation. There are 82 million just in the United States. And a lot of companies are trying to essentially reinvent themselves to be meaningful to the millennial generation. And we at the Juice Plus Company have the blessing, I guess, that we don't have to do that, because the values and the principles and the way the Juice Plus Company behaves and the focus on nutrition and the focus on an opportunity to change lives is very much aligned with what the millennial generation wants to see and thinks. if you look at it, their beliefs are very much in terms of things that are natural, things that represent a possibility to live a healthy life, and so on and so forth. And their anxieties, a lot of them have to do with the fact that it's not like they are unemployed, but many of them are underemployed and looking for an opportunity to realize some additional income. So when you match all of this together, the Juice Plus company is really a great answer to the millennial generation. And we have seen this because we look at our numbers and so forth, and the numbers of folks, customers and or team members that are joining the Juice Plus company that are millennials is just amazing. And so we have the blessing of not having to reinvent ourselves to be meaningful to the millennial generation. We are essentially staying who we are, and they're coming to us because they like what they see. Now, don't ask me which one of those three factors, if it's talking about more things at the point of sale, or talking to more people, or the millennials, which one of those is the biggest factor? We really don't know. I would be lying to you if I said I did. But those three things coming together the way they did really generated the momentum that we have experienced. And the beauty of it is I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Wow, well, and thank you. I had never connected the dots with the millennials and our beliefs and our values being the same. Thank you. Because we were just having a conversation this week about millennials. So right on point, right on target, Paulo.
Good.
Okay, so we've got all of this excitement going on. How do we keep relevant as we move into the future?
Yeah, I think, like those three factors that I was talking about, I don't see any of that changing anytime soon. So if you think in terms of a runway for momentum and a runway for growth, I think we have quite a long time ahead of us based on the fact that those three things are not going to change anytime soon, which to me means that it's a good time for folks to put the effort in. I think that the superstars of the future are being born right now, pretty much as we speak. Companies don't grow like one would put on a spreadsheet, like 5% a year or 6% a year or whatever the number is. Companies grow like people. Companies are very organic, and they grow in growth spurts. And we are going through a growth spurt, and we have to take advantage of that. So how do you keep growth spurts going is a relevant question. How do we keep the momentum going? Well, only the young grow. And so we need to keep the company young. Now, when I talk about young, I'm not talking about age. What I'm talking about is young in terms of ideas, in terms of being vibrant, in terms of being self-critical, and things of that nature. So if you spent any time with me in the office, you would hear me say that the time to mess with the roof is when? It's when the sun is shining. Because if you start messing with your roof when it's raining, you're going to get wet. So we are messing with the roof a little bit, nothing to be scared of. We have a process that we started about a year and a half ago called Business Reimagination. And we are taking a very critical look at our customer's journey from stem to stern. I mean, what can we do better to better serve customers? And there are lots of things that we can. Our representatives' journey, what can we do better to serve the representatives in a better way? Our own employees, I mean, we have about almost just shy of 600 employees globally, half of them in Memphis and the other half spread in the other 10 offices around the world. So what can we do to make their lives better and more productive? So these are three streams, as we call them, the representative stream, the customer stream, and the employee stream. There are two more. One is our products and services. So we're taking a critical look at our array of products and asking ourselves, do we have products that we should not have? Or do we need a product here and a product there to round up our efforts but not lose focus of the concentrated product line? But to me, there is a pearl in the oyster of services. I believe that there is a lot more than we can do for our customers in terms of services. So we are taking a very serious look at that as well. And last but not least is the stream that we are calling infrastructure, which is essentially technology. Because we are a 50-year-old company, our technology got clunky. And I'll be the first to admit that our VO and essentially our technology picture is not the best that it can be out there, but it will be. We are working very hard on it, and we are like, we are about, I would say 2.5 years into a 4-year, maybe 4.5-year journey to completely renovate our technology and look a lot more appealing out there to folks. So the point is not to bore you with the details of those 5 streams, but it's to say that the way we're going to stay relevant is by constantly reinventing ourselves, but really it's reinventing on the periphery so we can stay the same and continue to be true to our values, to our beliefs, and to our business model of health, nutrition, and changing people's lives. So keeping the company young is what's going to keep us going, and you can probably tell by the tone of my voice that I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, my hashtags are always vibrant, vital, and alive.
There you go.
And it matches with the company belief. Okay, Paulo, just 1 or 2 more quick questions. Number 1, I'm super excited about the Omegas, and I love that we have such a small product line. Some of us on the call tonight, sat at the feet of Dr. Smokey Santillo, who was the developer of Juice Plus. And he used to say, when the job is done, the job is done. You don't need the catalog. And so here we are, we're introducing the Omegas. I know that we're going to be talking more about it. So what is kind of like your projection, or do you have a projection for the Omegas and what that's going to mean to our bottom line?
Yeah, we're very excited about the Omegas. The Omegas have been a long time coming. We always, not always, but for a long time, we felt that is something that could round up our offerings nicely. So many of our customers and our representatives and myself, employees too, we're already consumers of Omegas. But we couldn't come up because of technological difficulties. We couldn't come up with one that we liked. Why? Because we wanted it to be totally innovative. We wanted it to be completely plant-based. And to be plant-based and totally innovative, we had to go back to the drawing board and help co-develop the shell in which the Omegas come, because the normal way to seal that shell to prevent leakage of that oil is something that involves heat, and we were not going to go for that because heat would destroy part of the nutritional value. So something completely innovative had to be created, and so it's a very technologically advanced product, and it's totally plant-based. So we are very excited about it. We would not be introducing it to the marketplace if we didn't think it would acquire a meaningful share of what we sell out there. Our rule of thumb is if it's not going to be 10% of our sales minimum, we won't even think about it. And I actually think that the Omegas are going to surpass that pretty easily. There's a great distinction here that probably needs to be made. When you talk about Juice Plus, people always want some explanation. And even though it's pretty simple, it's fruits, vegetables, and berries in capsules. And what part of this don't you understand? Is it the fruits? Is it the vegetables? Or is it the berries? But there's always a conversation that needs to take place. With Omegas, many people already know that they need it. They may not know exactly why, but that conversation about why they need it is bypassed big time. And the fact that we're going to be offering a product that is so innovative and completely plant-based, algae and pressed seeds, so very much whole food without all the harsh chemistry that exists when you extract an omega-3 from a fish. It's a completely different story. The way I talk about it, the way I like to talk about it is our product totally bypasses the middle fish. And that by itself should make people excited.
Oh, it makes me excited. And one last question for you, Paulo. 9 years with us. What do you want to say to team up for those people that are still sitting on the fence and have not yet committed to going to Indianapolis in a couple of weeks?
Well, first of all, if you are halfway excited about the Omegas, you can't miss Indy. because we are going to make a big splash, and we're going to give you a series of tools to start talking and to people about it, start sharing it. So the Omegas themselves would be worth the ticket. But more on a more global scale here, I am totally on board with what Brandy Foss said in the call last week. She said it right. I'm not going to be able to paraphrase it, but nobody that is successful in the Juice Plus company has gotten to be successful without attending conference. Attending conference is not a guarantee of success, but there is not a single leader out there that has not attended conference and multiple conferences. And so I totally encourage you to make the extra effort to go. It is going to be an amazing conference. Obviously, we say that about every single one of ours, but this one is going to be particularly special in a number of ways. And I totally encourage you to go. If I can go to each one of your homes and help you book the ticket, I would be doing that right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, we won't make you do that, but thank you. Paulo, I just know that everybody that's on the call tonight is saying, wow, our future's in great hands. Thank you for your vision and your commitment to the Juice Plus community. And thank you for saying yes 9 years ago.
I'm the one that is benefiting from this. I have received from this community way more than I feel that I have given. And I am incredibly grateful for the way I was received by the community. I love what I'm doing. And so we're going to be talking about this and doing this for many, many, many years to come. So I really appreciate your words there, Terry. And thanks for having me on the call. Very cool.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now for all of you, just wave and say bye to Paulo because everybody's all muted out. But Paulo, thank you so much. But everybody else on Team Up, I've got a quick announcement that I want to make going into conference. All right, for the luncheon, for the Team Up luncheon, you know that we're giving away $4,000 in our cash giveaway. All right, and some of you, your names are in there multiple times. Wrapping things up, and we're so excited about that. But listen, if you actually go into Eventbrite, and it will be posted on the Team Up Facebook page, and you actually pay for your lunch, okay, this week, by the end of the week, by Saturday the 30th, your name will go into the raffle 5 more times. And it's retroactive to the beginning of the month, all right? So let's get the word out there. Let's get people registered for conference, registered for the lunch. Who doesn't want to be a part of a $4,000 giveaway? I do, all right? Okay, thanks so much. Paulo, you're a blessing. I appreciate you so much. Everybody, good night. Peace and blessings.
You guys are a blessing. Love you all. See you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.